So while we are on the topic of asking, it's important that you know when to ask. It's important that you ask when you are ready to ask. You know, there are some things that you ask for, and by some magic you get them, and you squander them away, and you learn your lesson, and you know that at the time you got that thing, you were quite not ready. And there are some things that you ask, and God help you, you get them before you are ready, and they destroy you. There's this guy in the Bible named Amasa, and when David wanted to return to Israel after being ousted by Absalom, David spoke to Amasa and promised Amasa that you will be the chief of my army if you help get me the throne back. Amasa helped David get the throne back, but by the time Amasa started executing the tasks or trying to become the chief of David's army, the first thing that happened is that Joab, who was the sitting chief of David's army, stabbed and killed Amasa. And there's a whole lesson there on asking before you are ready. Because when we feel like we are ready for something, the first sign it gives us is the sign of discomfort. There is this dissatisfaction, there is some discontent about our current post, right? And then we begin to feel, okay, it's about time I asked. It's about time I ask for what I think is truly mine, right? And then we set out and we go straight to asking. But that's not the right move. Not from the Bible. That's not the right move. The moment you feel like, okay, it's about time, you now want to go and check out, what do I have in my arsenal to get me ready for this that I want to ask? The idea is that you have been planting, you have been tilling, you have relationships, you have things that can help and support the new thing you want to acquire or the new thing you want to ask for. I hope you now know that I'm not talking about asking for some money or asking for, you are now asking, Lord, I'm ready for this level of business. I'm ready to do business in deep waters. Lord, I am ready for this position. Or you are not going to ask somebody to say, okay, I think I have what it takes to be the head of this team. I think I am ready. Have you not heard about people who asked for a raise? They were granted that raise, but all of a sudden what happened is that the eyes of their bosses were open to the fact that this person is not actually doing anything, qualifying the person for this. And 6 months after you got into a new position, it was time to gently let you go because you were a heavy coster. I'm not saying this so that you remain at the position you were in. I'm saying this so that you ask yourself, am I ready for this? How do you know? How do you know if you are ready? So there are a few signs that let you know. Of course, the general discomfort is key. The general thinking, oh, there is somebody doing it, I feel like I should be the one. That is basic, but that does not in any way qualify you to go and ask. That even just lets you know to start observing, to start checking. If I was the one and that mistake happened, how would I have handled it? What would I have done? Who would I have run to? In realizing if you're ready to ask, you start asking yourselves questions like, am I empathetic enough towards this person? Do I feel any form of relativity towards the person handling that position? Okay. And then when you eventually want to start asking, you want to ask and listen. If you blackmail, if you shortchange, if you do anything wrong to get something right, that thing you got is also wrong. It was not time, and it is very likely to diminish you. It is very likely to steal from your testimony. It is likely to be the kind of promotion that Amasa got, and it killed him. So you don't want to get it through blackmail. It should naturally feel like a next step. People should be willing to give. So when you ask and you listen, is it when the people that are supposed to help you get to this place, when there's people that are supposed to release to you, listen to you, ask, are they willing to give it to you? Or they don't feel the same way. They don't feel that it's right time. So that's a very key question that you need to check. You need to check this out. So when you think this is the right time, when you think, okay, I think I should be the one heading this place now, I think I should be the head of this team. It's not every position that you should ask for. There are some of them that you can't really ask for. But when you feel like you are ready and you want to suggest, you want to walk up to somebody and say, I can handle this, the person giving it to you to handle, are they giving it to you willingly, or are you blackmailing to get it? It should be easy for them. Before you ask, somebody should be able to call you and say, okay, take care of this. Even before they give it to you with a position, somebody should be able to say, okay, I think you're already doing this, why don't you add this? It should not be something you are striving for. It's not something that you are saying, after all, I am here, they didn't call me. Every time you are overlooked, it's not always that you are under attack. You also need to find out, what is it that they are not yet seeing in me? How do I communicate? Who do I need to become? Right? And if it is that it is somebody in the position to give you who hates you, remember, you are also asking God. It's only a matter of time. That person is going to be moved for the right person to come and do it for you. Okay? Then finally, there are things that you get and you squander, and then you know that you are not ready. But there are things that when it is not the right time for you to get them, they will injure you. So you better be careful what you desire, what you ask for. Every time you go out for something, just know that if you are not, and you must know whether you are ready for it. Okay? There are cheap ways to know. There are easy ways to know. Aside the discomfort you feel, look and observe the person who has it. Find one person who is sitting where you want to sit and ask, what do I do in these situations? How do I take care of these issues when they come up? And begin to picture that. You have to do that with some consistency. It should naturally feel like a next step. And when you get into that next step, there should be some ease. Your spirit should be confirming to you that this is what you should be doing at this time. And there will be external witnesses. Of course, you can't rely on external witnesses, but at least to the people who are working with you, to the people who are supposed to give you that trust, there must be an external witness that yes, this girl is ready to handle that. Until then, watch out for unwillingness. Let unwillingness be a marker to you that there is something this person that makes this person feel like, I'm not just ready. Figure out what that thing is. See you at the very next episode.